Alright class, today we're going to be looking at exercise 14, and one of the specific things you're going to notice is that this chapter, or this part anyways, this exercise is very different than what we see on what Publisher is like now today in 2017. So a lot of it I'm going to show you here in the video at the beginning, and then I'm going to show you how to do the different parts of the exercise of 14. So the first part, and then of course the on your own. So this one's a little bit longer. Here it talks about the content library and the design gallery on page 71. So content library is storage area for user-created objects that can be reused in other publications, and this can be very beneficial for you if you're working for a company that you're using Publisher a lot for them. And then also the design gallery. It's a collection of pre-designed objects you can place in your publication, including mastheads, which is just basically thing you put up here at the top. You'll see what they look like here in a little bit. Banners, logos, and more. So now inserting a design gallery object. It's no longer actually called the design gallery. It's in the insert tab, so I'm going to click on that, and it's actually the building blocks group. So building blocks group, and there's some specific parts that we're going to look at. Page parts, this is where you find the mastheads, so the headings, sidebars, pull quotes, if I need to type in a quote, stories, that's where all this is going to be. If you want calendars, so this month for instance, basically easy to make calendars, you can use Publisher here. There's borders and then accents if you want some more like color designs, and then advertisements right here. So this is for like business. You can see I already have some recently used up here. The ones that we're going to be using here for exercise 14 mainly are page parts here, and then advertisements. Now if I want to add a selection to my page from the gallery, I could just click on here. So say I want pull quotes, click right there, it adds it in. And then the nice thing about this is you can add something in. It's pre-made, and then you just put in the text you need, of course, and then you can resize it. And we're going to do that in the first part of exercise 14. So I could click there, or I can click on it, choose more page parts, and then of course this will come up, and you've seen it with our different templates we've been using. It's basically the same setup. So these are my mastheads right here. They don't call them mastheads in the Publisher anymore, really. They call them headings, which makes more sense. And then of course pull quotes, reply forms, sidebars, stories, table of contents. So all these are available for you to use here. So if I want to insert it, I just click on the one I want. So this one has accent box, and then just click insert. Now once it's in your gallery, or once you've pulled it from the building blocks gallery or page parts gallery, you can resize it how you need to, change the text, anything like that. So it's again designed to make it as easy as possible for you, limit the amount of work that you need to do for it. Now you can add something to the content library, so the building blocks library, and we're going to do that in exercise 14 as well. The way to do that is you select your object. Say I've changed it, I put in the information I want. Say I changed the title, maybe I changed this part or this, and I'm all set to go. I click on page parts, and then right down here next to where I clicked to find it and insert it, I click add selection to page parts gallery. And then you can type in a name, a description, you pick which gallery you want it to go into. So this is page parts gallery, and then if I need to put it in a category, I can select from this list, or I can type in one so it's easy to find later on, and we're going to do that in exercise 14. And then so these are basically the skills that you're going to need in order to complete the exercise. So let's go over to the first part of exercise 14, and we're going to work on that together. So I'm going to exit out of this and go to my other Publisher. So the second part, or second step of exercise 14, that the first part of the exercise, let's see if I can get this to close, there we go, is to open up Publisher 14 and save it as 14 flyer underscore and your initials. So I'm going to save that. Going to find my folder here. It's a Mr. Rogers Publisher exercises. And then let's rename it. So 14 flyer underscore my initials. Alright, step 2 is done. Step 3, insert Capsules masthead from the design gallery and place it at the top of the page. Okay, who knows what the Capsules thing is? So the way you're going to find out, of course, is going to the design gallery, or in this case, our building blocks, page parts gallery. So I'm going to click on page parts, or I clicked on the insert tab, you can see that. Then I went over to that building blocks gallery or group, page parts, and now I'm going to come down here to more page parts because I don't necessarily see it here. You could move your mouse over each one and you'll see that the thing comes up and tells you which one it is. But it's much easier to just click here, more page parts. And I'm looking for masthead or headings, and I need capsules. So I'm going to click on all headings because we need to get to C. And here it is right here. So capsules, I'm going to click on that. This is the one I'm looking for, and I'm going to insert it, and then it says place it at the top of your page. Now to know where to place it, look at the illustration and try to match it up with that. So I'm going to move this a little bit. It's a little bit closer on the top and further away on the left side. So I'm going to go with about a 1/4 inch there and then there. Okay, great. So I have that set up for step number 3. Step number 4, customize the masthead or the heading by typing the following into the placeholders and replacing the sample text for step 4. So business name, I'm going to zoom in so we can actually see it here. Business name, and change it. I'm going to double click so I select it all. The Hendrix in. And then newsletter date, today's date, so May 1st, 2017, as you can see here on the clock. And then newsletter title is Hendrix Gazette. Alright, so we have finished with step number 4, and we're moving into step number 5. Now I'm going to zoom out my view to whole page view for this next part, and you'll understand why in a minute. The next thing I need to do is insert the bubbles, capsules, and pull quote objects from the design gallery or building blocks page parts gallery, and type the text in and arrange them as an illustration A. So you want to look at page 75 so you got an idea of how it's set up and looks, and then go to page parts and start inserting those. And you're going to have to go in each time, click more page parts, and look for it. So it's pull quotes. My first one is capsules, so I need to click all pull quotes, capsules, insert, and then I kind of move it over to the general place that they have it there. Then next what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert another one, same thing, page parts, move down to more page parts, and then I'm going to select all pull quotes, and then I'm going to go to bubbles. I accidentally grabbed the other one first. So capsules, bubbles, move it over here. I'll resize them later. I'm just getting them in the general spot now. And then of course the fall pull quote as well. So quickly get those. Great. Alright, so you can see I'm placing them in their general spots. So this one is lined up with this. I want the text to be, I want it to be about as high as this other one. And then you can see each one is stretched about halfway. So I'm going to stretch this about halfway down the page. So about 4 1/4 there. And then I'm going to stretch this one about halfway as well. And then this one we will pull down a little bit and stretch out like this. Okay, and we'll pull up just a little bit more. Now you notice I'm holding down shift when I'm stretching this one to keep the ratio to it. So you know from the previous term quiz, the aspect ratio is what allows it to stay proportional. And then I'm going to zoom in and fill in the text that I need to. So you're going to want to do this as well. So I'm going to quickly type it in. Sitting on the deck at Hendrix in the evenings watching the fireflies was the highlight of our vacation. Put the quotation marks, and of course, who said the quote? Rob Robertson, Dallas, Texas. Then in this one over here, my capsule one, now you notice how I click on it once and all the text highlights so I can easily put my information in, and it goes away as soon as I start typing. I don't have the backspace. If I can type right. Now you notice the nice thing too is the fact that it's italicizing it for us. It already has that set, so we don't have to set that up either. Okay. They were even more spectacular in person. Alright, so you want to make sure you fill in all this information. You may need to pause if you're typing slower than I am. So you can do it. I'm going to go back to whole page. I'm going to save it actually first, and then go back to whole page view. And now you can see we've got the top part set up how we need it based upon illustration A. Alright, then the next thing we need to do is it says insert the tilted coupon at the bottom of the flyer. So let's go back to insert. Now instead of going to the page parts gallery under the building blocks group, we need to go to advertisements. We're not going to see it here. You can see in my recently used, I have the coupon, but that's because I created it before when I practiced this exercise before filming it. But I'm going to click on here, and then go down to coupons, and here it says change the coupon to the open background coupon. So instead of getting the tilted box one, let's just go ahead, click on open background coupon, and then it says customize it as shown in illustration A. So it's already set up how we need it. Click insert. Now what I do need to do is let's size it, get the right size right away. So I'm going to put it, let's see here, I can stretch down a little bit like this. So you can see it's filling towards the bottom of the page. And then I'm not going to hold down shift this time because I need it to fill it correctly. Okay, good. Now the title is Hendrix Coupon. So we're going to add this coupon to it, but first I need to type in what I have from illustration A. So let's set it up properly. So title of the coupon is, or what we're going to put up here is One Night Stay. Let me zoom in so you can actually see it. How about that? One Night Stay, 50% off. Oh my goodness, that's so good. Organization name, the Hendrix Inn, and then I'm going to put the address for it as well. In case you're looking for a place to go to in Kentucky, I have a place that you can have in mind. Maybe go there in the future. And then itty bitty little expiration date. They have it to that compared to the date. It's about, I mean, in the book it's like the 21st of December, and then 10 days later the coupon expires. So I'm going to have the coupon expire. Click on the text here. There we go. I'm going to have it expire. Today's the 1st, so I'm going to have it expire the 11th, so it fits with what's in the exercise there. Alright, so tiny you can barely see it, and that's how it is in the book. And then it says here, add this coupon to our group. So I'm going to click on it, go to my page parts, and you'll notice since I have it selected, near where the more page parts button is, I have the add selection to page parts gallery is actually usable. So I click on it, and then here it says the title is Hendrix Coupon. So I'm going to do that, and then category, all I do is get rid of the word general and replace it with Hendrix Inn. Now what I'm going to do though is I'm actually going to switch it to advertisements instead of page parts, because now you could have gone through advertisements here and added to it. I'm just going to switch it this way because that's what I did. So that way it's going to show up with the category Hendrix in, and it's going to be my advertisement. So if I click on page parts and look for it, I'm not going to find it. I'm going to find it in advertisements, and I'll click OK. And there we go, add the coupon, and that's step number 7 completed. Now we're working on step 8, add the customized version of the masthead to the content library with these settings. So I'm going to scroll up to the masthead, click on it. I'll go to page parts since it is fit with that category, add selection to it, and then I'm going to choose Hendrix masthead, but basically it's a heading. Page parts, that's right. And then category Hendrix in. Alright, great. Oh, I already have one. I added this before, it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and click cancel because I should have that in there saved properly. So now that you have that in there, then that's step 8 completed. So step number 9 says print the publication, then save your work and close the file. So what I need to do, you know what, I'm going to go back here very fast and check and make sure that it's actually saved in here, since it looks like when I click on it, let's go down to Hendrix category, it's not there. So I'm going to click here, make sure it does add it in because you're going to need it since you're closing out the thing. So I'm going to switch it, and I'm going to name it Hendrix masthead and switch it to that category Hendrix in. There we go. Alright, good, now it's saved. So save it, print the file. So you do need to print it as a PDF. We've said you need to do that every single exercise from now on. I'm using this one because it's on my laptop. So we're printing it. I'm going to save it. So instead of doing .pub, I'm getting rid of that and saving it with this name. It's loading. It'll take a little bit of time to load depending on the computer. This laptop isn't the fastest laptop, so it will take a little bit of time working with it. So it's taking a little bit of time. While we're waiting on that, since it says here we need to close it, so I'm going to try to open up another publisher while we're waiting for it to respond. There we go. Alright, and we'll move on to the next step since we're waiting for it to load. And then start a new blank publication with an 8x5 by 11 heading. So I'm going to click on this one right here, sheet portrait orientation. Step 10 completed. Then step 11, insert a masthead and the coupon from the content library. This is why you were adding it to the content library, so that way you can use it and don't have to copy and paste it. So I'm going to click on insert. I'm going to choose my page parts category, and you can see here it's actually my recently used, so I can just click on that. Also notice how it's set up with my category Hendrix in. So I'm going to insert that. I'm going to move it up to about where it was before. It's about right there. And then I also need to include here, it says the coupon. So advertisements, you can see here on my 50% off coupon. So, and also there's the Hendrix in one as well. So my printer is finally loading. That's good. Oh, it's giving me a preview. That's why this is coming up. Make sure you check your preview of your printed PDF. So mine automatically opens. You might manually have to open it on the computer, but I want you to check it, make sure it's right. And then let's move this down to about where it was before and stretch it out. Great. Let's move it a little bit further. Alright, there we go. And then this one says here, well, that's step 11 completed. Step number 12, save the publication as 14 flyer 2 and your initials. So we're going to do that. Go to where I need to. 14 flyer underscore. Oh wait, flyer 2 underscore my initials and save. So, and then close the publication and exit publisher. So that's the first part of the exercise. I'm going to put the second part of the exercise in a separate video. So the link for it will be down below in the description of this video. So click on the little arrow in case the description isn't visible, and then click on that link to finish the second part of the exercise.